It's COVID, and the city of Atlanta is wide open. You're about to see that I'm typically in the house. I need to make a quick run to the store, like an emergency run. I'm usually in the house at least 5 to 6 days out of the week, and I'm okay with that. You know, sometimes I'll get in my car just to ride around a bit. I'm not going in any stores or anything, but just getting out. This is the Dunwoody location. It's where I live. The Atlanta and Dunwoody city limits is pretty much right here. So I live right where it cuts off from Atlanta to Dunwoody. North Atlanta, up near Perimeter Mall. So if you're ever near Perimeter Mall, that's where I am. The one thing people say about Atlanta is the traffic is crazy. It's the traffic and the drivers. You really have to watch other people drive when you're driving. It's not just about you being on this road. It's about all these other crazy people. Because they will just run right into you and keep going. So many hit and runs happen here every single day. So I'm gonna take somewhat of the scenic route here. I would typically have taken that right and dashed straight across, but there's not much of a good scenery. Okay, I'm gonna run this light here. I gotta. Wasn't expecting that. That light never turns. So I'm gonna take a right here at the McDonald's. This corner right here, that entire section across the street, that's Perimeter Mall. Is one of the busiest malls here in Atlanta. This area because I love living in this area because there's like everything is here. If I wanted to walk to these locations, I could, because they're all directly across the street from me, as well as if I wanted to take the subway train, it's right across the street. I've never taken it before. I said I was going to test it out one day, but not right now during COVID. So yeah, everything is really in this location pretty much. I love living here. It's expensive to live here, but you know, I guess if you can afford it, you can stay here. And I love being here, so, and I definitely can afford it. So that's why I'm here. My friends call it expensive Woody, or which is funny. So this street here is going to take me over into Sandy Springs. And by the way, it's MLK Day. I know today is not technically his birthday, but happy birthday. The traffic is okay right now because it's not technically rush hour. Maybe it's almost noon right now, but I guess if I were to have waited maybe 45 minutes before I left the house, yeah, I would have been kind of stuck in this traffic. And that's the one part, or the one thing people hate when they travel to Atlanta, is the traffic. But even though they complain about the traffic, they still love being here. I remember days where I used to just sit in traffic and I would just literally cry because you would just be sitting there for so long. It's just frustrating. Doing a little construction work down here. This end down here upsets me sometimes because on the weekends they cut all of this off. You just never know what weekend they're gonna do it, but they'll shut all of this off, and that forces you to have to drive all the way up the interstate, take a U-turn, then come back down and get back to where you were going, which is crazy. Mercedes there, right straight ahead. See, all of these stops are frustrating as well, but hey. See, the traffic is a little bit thicker on this end here, going to Sandy Springs and the Roswell area. This location, this entire area puts you close to a lot of shops, a lot of stores and things. We have the tennis center, Sandy Springs Tennis Center, over there to your right. I need to get back into tennis. I ruptured my Achilles trying to play tennis last year. Well, not 2020, it was 2019. I spent 2020 healing. All right, I'm gonna take a left up here. It's going at college over there, one of their locations. This is a part of Sandy Springs area here. A lot of the shops over here have closed down though due to COVID. Over to my left, and I know you can't see it, but yeah, it's a lot of buildings up for lease because these people actually depended on foot traffic. Customers actually coming into their locations, but due to COVID, it's like, okay, we're not getting that much business, so we can't afford to stay in these buildings. I'm actually going to Aldi's today. And I just remember, I'm not even sure why I came all the way over here to Aldi's when I have a little right up the street from me. I keep forgetting this is actually a new location. I always forget that's there, and then I drive all the way over here to Aldi. house within a 2-mile radius of my house. That's the beauty of it. And I don't have to go far at all. Oh man, they were little right here across the street here, across from Aldi. Come on, dude. I haven't been in here in several weeks, but I'm about to go up in here now and get me something to cook for dinner tonight. Hopefully I won't have to be in here long. All right, so that was only about 5 minutes. I'm back in the car now. Just basically the street I turned off on. I'm gonna get right back on it, and it'll loop me back around. If you can see across the street, as I said, there's Trader Joe's, Five Guys. I mean, they have like a million of those in this location. Five Guys, Smoothie Kings as well. It's like so many different store locations across the street. Again, that's the beauty of living in this area. You know, I was born in the country, but I'm somewhat of a city girl. I love to live in an area with big buildings and things, as well as I can live on the beach. I don't think that I could ever just move back to a country location at all. Over here to my right, there's the Sandy Springs Performing Arts Center over here, if you can see it. Gonna be sitting here for a while because this guy is waiting across the street. I'm gonna drive down the street then come back up. I can typically take a left at this next light up here, and it'll loop me back around to my house. But I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna come back up. Take that left. I'm not sure if I said right, but I can take this next left at this light up here, and it'll take me back to my house. But I'm gonna go straight. I'm gonna go all the way down, circle back up, and that left will then be a right, and it'll take me back home. So this is when I'm in the house all week, and it's like, okay, I need to get out for a minute. I just need to get out of the house for a minute. I don't want to be in contact with anyone, you know, other than my daughter, but and I don't want to be in contact with anyone. I don't want to go any stores or anything. I just need to get away from the house. This is pretty much the route that I take. There's Mellow Mushroom over there to your right. I mean, so many places, different places. Jimmy John's, Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, this big building here. There's a sauna place up in there. A European Exchange, a hair and nail nail shop. It's just like so much in this area. Pep Boys, I can't stand them. They messed one of my cars up once. This area down here is always congested. I mean, nice little shopping area, but Whole Foods is over here to your left, but it's just always congested. I rarely come over here. I only come over here if it's somewhat of an emergency and I need to go into one of these shops, but they're always congested. It's hard to find somewhere to park. And again, there's a pandemic and the ATL is wide open. This isn't technically Atlanta, but you know, Sandy Springs area. But if you know, this area is open like this, just imagine what the city looks like. This is Whole Foods. We'll go up here. You know, to each his own. You know, I know. Oh, she got the suicide doors. What kind of car is that? You know, I know everyone is not going to want to stay in the house, you know. I guess because I'm an introvert, it's okay with me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being in the house all day, every day. I mean, I've been doing it. I mean, that's me. I've been doing it for years anyways. So it doesn't bother me. But some people, they just have to get out. There's an Asian restaurant over here to my left. We'll continue to go down, but I don't feel like playing with this traffic right about now. construction over here as well. Can't see over to my right over this bridge, but yeah, the traffic is backed up on the interstate. Glad I didn't take that route. I am gonna cut through here, take this right up here on Crestline Parkway. This route coming back from that location. I do come up this street here when I'm going to, if I need to go to Aldi's, I always cut across and come through, but going back I never take this route going back. But being that it's gonna prevent me from having to go all the way back up the street to at least 3 more lights, it'll just cut me down to where I need to be. Should be fine. See the big buildings. This is what I love. I mean, if it's not the city, I have to live near the beach. I cannot live anywhere in between. Country area, I can't do that. Side of town. If I were to keep going straight, that would actually take me back home, but I'm gonna take this right here, which this will still take me back home, but I'm just gonna shoot by Perimeter Mall real quick. Not going in there. I can't. Number one, even if it wasn't a pandemic, I still wouldn't be going into the mall because I don't like malls. You know, if there were like shops outside where you can walk through outside, and I'm fine with that. But just to be enclosed inside of a mall, I don't like that. And they've been doing a lot of shooting in the malls here lately. Not this one. This is Perimeter. I could actually enter there, but I'm not. I'm gonna go up here to the street where there's typically a lot of traffic and enter there. But however, they have been doing a lot of shooting in the malls here. Not here at Perimeter, but at Lenox Mall that's right up the street. I think, from my understanding, they've installed metal detectors there now, which is crazy. Traffic isn't heavy now, but you know, if it was later in the evening, it would be crazy here. The weekends are just ridiculous. People are out parked all on the grass. you know, everyone is literally up in this mall. This isn't one of your normal malls either. I mean, if you're looking for Gucci, Prada, stuff like that, you come in this mall. The expensive stuff. I'm gonna just roll through here real quick, and then head back home since I'm like right up the street here. So yeah. We have the Cheesecake Factory right there. We have Breaker's Korean Barbecue. Shake Shack. Never been there before. But Cheesecake Factory is always a favorite. Yeah, we gotta go in the mall. Not me though. I'm good. Maggiano's right here on the right. I love Maggiano's. I love any type of Italian dish. Love it, love it, love it. This mall is super big. It's huge. I'm just going across the front because I'm ready to get home pretty much. But this mall is huge. It doesn't look too big because of the angles and where I'm taking you, but it's huge. It goes all the way, like the property is all the way to the back. Over here, Chick-fil-A. They probably have like 3 Chick-fil-A's inside of the mall. Then you come on the outside of the mall. Here goes another Chick-fil-A right here. Then you go on the street, on the other street over here, there's another Chick-fil-A. So Chick-fil-A is like one of the biggest restaurants here in Atlanta, if y'all haven't noticed, as well as Waffle House. People love themselves some Chick-fil-A and Waffle House. They're doing COVID testing over here to my left. There's a line for that. All right, so I'm gonna loop myself back to my house, which is literally right up the street. So when you get off the interstate, you're gonna end up right here. If you're coming to Perimeter Mall, you get off the interstate, you're gonna end up right here in front of the mall. And my house is literally right up the street from the mall. Plaza across the street. This is Ashford Dunwoody Road. One of the best places to live if you're trying to move here. It's expensive as hell, but hey, it's one of the best places to live. Alright, so the mall is on my left. I'm just making a circle. Another thing, they have like so many Starbucks locations here. If you're a Starbucks person like me, OMG, you will never be without Starbucks. I mean, like literally, I know outside of the mall, within less than a half a mile radius of me, I think there are like 7 Starbucks. And then when you inside of the mall, I'm not sure how many they have inside of the mall. I know at least one. But and also in a lot of these shopping centers here, they have the little Starbucks shops set up inside of the shopping centers as well, like Target, Super Target and stuff. So they have a restaurant over here called Sage Tavern, I think. They do live jazz, their live music every night, if I'm not mistaken. Zen Burger, they opened up kind of like right before the pandemic. As soon as the pandemic hit, they had to shut down, they had to close shop. That's very unfortunate.